Good afternoon. This is Shera again from Nairobi, here in Kenya. Today, I would like us to discuss a topic that is on incest, a topic that many would prefer to ignore, or alternatively, not talk about it at all. Maybe read about it silently, but discussing it, it's a no-go zone for many. Anyway, so incest is having a sexual relationship with a close kin. Uh, for example, a brother having sexual relationship with a sister, a mother or a father having a sexual relationship with a natural child, an adopted child, or a stepchild. It's an uncle having, or an auntie as well, having sexual relationship with a nephew or a niece. It is a brother having a sexual relationship with his brother's wife. It also goes on to some communities, a cousin having a sexual relationship with a first cousin. And it is a taboo to many of us. For me, I'm speaking from a Christian perspective. And it works this way. You find that, for example, you may have an uncle who pays school fees for his brothers or sisters' children, that's his nephews and his nieces. So he caters for their school fees and their needs. So when he starts luring these children into sexual activity, they feel they owe him. You see what happens with poverty? It befalls a man and makes you a beast to be fed on grass. So these children will not be able to say no, because then the school fees stops. So it will start quite early, and by the time the child finishes primary school, goes on to college, university, they started it long ago with their uncle, and they don't find it to be a big deal. When it even gets to a point where they want to get married, you find actually the uncle is one of the people seated with the elders and recommending that the niece should actually be getting married. He's among the people who are negotiating. And also, I have a story whereby a mother was also staying with her child. Some of this incest happens deliberately, but for others, it's not deliberate. There's a mom who was staying with her son, and her husband was away in a foreign country working. I think it was Qatar or something. And one time she went to the doctors and was surprised when she was told that her test had come positive for pregnancy. And she wondered and couldn't really understand. And she told the doctor that no, this is not possible, because my husband works away from home. So doctor, this is not correct. And so they started investigations as to how she got pregnant. And to cut a long story short, it was pretty sad, because the son was actually drugging the mother. He was a university young man, drugging the mother and actually having sex with the mother when she was totally out. So it happens, and it is a taboo, and it is abominable in the Christian society. So let us start, especially now with this COVID lockdown. Why don't we start, we parents, we start talking to our children about sex, because as parents, we are the first teachers. Let your child hear about sex from you, because even if you don't, they will get it from Google and any other source. It could even be the housekeeper in your house. It could be an auntie. It could be a neighbor, anyone, name it. So how about us starting as parents, speaking to our children, of course, age-related. The younger they are, you can start talking about body parts, and you can also use songs. And with social media now, you can be able to Google and see what kind of stuff you can be able to talk to your children about. You can also be able to attend Zoom meetings online, and you can be able to be taught how. So we really do not have an excuse. I have seen many arise in many incest cases here in Kenya, and it's quite a shame. But I think it's been there, and maybe we are just being put on some breaks, like, hello, parents, this actually happens, so that we can be able to look around us and realize that, okay, these children are all home, and what really are we doing with our time? because during this lockdown we should be able to do something constructive. So even incest matters, discuss them. Let our children know that it is possible for a dad to Google, to be able to ogle over the daughter, whether natural or stepdaughter, and even some mothers. It's possible that it happens. Tell your children that it's possible, it happens, it can happen. It may not be happening in your family, but we don't live in isolation. We bring up our children with our neighboring kids, and it doesn't mean if you educate your children then it's going to start happening. But we also have other homes that they go to, even besides COVID, they go to visit their friends, and it can happen there. So, or it could be happening to their friends. But it's good to create awareness as parents. We can't shy off. So I feel that this rise of this incest happening in Kenya is just jolting us from our slumber, that it's a high time we started discussing this matter with our children. It's no longer political, it's happening, and we need to. So let me just quote a Bible verse as I conclude. Leviticus 18:6-7, it says, "You must not have sexual relationships with the next of kin, for I am the Lord." So give me your feedback. Click on subscribe, click on comments, and let me know how you handled it from your area, from your region. And any other comments that you may have are welcome. Asanteni.